Do you have a flag?
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
I love gold.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday, November 25th. We're getting close to Thanksgiving, but we did get some data today come in. We got some jobs data, some retail sales data, some PPI data, and it's absolutely pumped our chance of a rate cut for December. We're going to talk about that, guys. Take a look at the charts. A little bit of red on the markets today on the hourly. We had a nice little pump overnight. Continuation off of that 786, and it is now giving us a little bit of a pullback here. Checking it out on the chart here, you can see right there. There's a little bounce right there at the 786. We went up. Now we're coming back down to that 786. We're going to talk about that chart today. We're going to talk about that macro data that just came in, and we're going to look at what else is going on in the markets. Google taking a little piece. Taking a little piece of NVIDIA's move. And of course, I got to address Randy in the chat. He put emojis of Gypsy, and he said, is this Gypsy? That is Gypsy, Randy. That is my puppers right there in the emojis. So, and then I'm in there too, if you didn't see. I'm in there too. It's right there, Pie Bear. Still a little bit bearish, guys. Not seeing anything that's giving me a reason to tell grandma buy Bitcoin now this Thanksgiving. So we're going to talk about a whole lot today. You guys ready for it? Get your notebooks out. Have a seat. You guys know what time it is. Class is in session. Let's get it. And it works. I love it. All right, guys. So, yeah, as always, brought to you by Chart Prime. By the way, Chart Prime's got an amazing deal. I'm not even going to tell you to use my link. My link, of course, if you want to use it, go for it. But they've got some Black Friday deals, BF50, capital B, capital F for Black Friday 50, 50% off your first, your initial sign up on the monthly memberships. They got a lifetime deal going on. Just go check it out. There is a ton going on over there at Chart Prime. So appreciate, the sponsor of the channel here. Got to give them a shout out. Let's go ahead, drop a screen up there. There we go. Yeah, this is what I'm watching right here, guys, on the chart, and I'll be bringing up the full-size charts. I just want to tell you, I am watching 85,522. That's going to be a critical area of support on the 4-hour. If we don't hold this zone right there on that 786 and we break through this, then very likely going to be heading into a downward 887, $80,000 again. Of course, if we do get a bounce here and we make another little shoulder here, you guys see what that is, right? Be a nice head and shoulders. That would put us, let's see here. I'm just going to draw it out. Alex O. Crypto. Got the Otter Gang joining us here today. I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to all the otters. So if we were to do that, you'd be looking at coming back down to this candle close down here. We're looking at like 81.5. So if that's what we get there is a bounce and it comes back down, probably going to get that. But I'm going to put more emphasis on the 786, not holding here or holding. We'll see what happens from there. So but yeah, guys, let's go ahead and get into the chat. We'll see who all's in the chat right now. Give all those people a shout out, and then we'll get over and check out what's going on in the news today. Still no OC guy. He is absolutely just buried over there at Chart Prime with support with all the Black Friday stuff going on because they're they're exploding. So no OC this week, probably, guys. But hey, I'll be here with you. We got BC Port Corp's going to be here with you. And by the way, on Thursday morning, I believe he said, let me double check that. Black Chan, BC Port Corp, said on Thanksgiving Day, he will be live at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. He's going to be doing a stream on Thanksgiving, giving away. He's going to be doing a giveaway. He didn't say what he's giving away, but he's going to be doing a giveaway. So be watching for that notification. You guys all get notified when that happens. But shout out to Alexandra G, our mod queen. I love you, lady. Hope you're doing well. Mark Dutch is in there. How you doing, man? What's up, Dutchy? Dutchy in the house. Drop the clogs in the chat for Dutchy. The Bitcoin clogs. You know, giving them, paying homage to his heritage. There you go. I've set my alarm for the 1st of October 2026. Okay, it's October 6th, 2026, but that's when you need to be aware, Post. I appreciate you, man. Who else we got in here? Decent to Crypto. I saw Wave Cypher earlier, giving a shout out to him. You're giving a shout out to me, so shout out to you, Wave Cypher. Appreciate you being here, man. We've got Robert Mulligan in here, 8 Breath, Randy saying that gypsy emojis. I appreciate you, bro. Love that dog. Rebel Moon and VIP in here with us. Trade Intuition, Bingo Bango. What's up, bro? How you doing, man? I think that's about it. I think I got everyone's. Oh, Loco for Crypto. I see you in here also. Awesome. I appreciate everyone that's in here right now. And if I didn't get to your name, there's Blackie Chan. If I didn't get to your names, I apologize. Mike Ballmer was first, by the way, today. He was the first one in the chat. He said, Piper, good morning. So, all right, guys, let's go get in on the news. Let's talk about that. We got a lot of stuff to go over there, and then we'll get into. Actually, let's do the chart, and then we'll do the news. Charts in the news. Look at it right now. This is the bigger chart of what I was talking about, bigger picture, and you can see money flow is kind of flat. Looks like it's starting to come down. Volumes come up a little bit here on the 4-hour, but it's waning. We'll call it waning. And now we're selling off on a pretty decent sized candle, getting a little morning star up there, or evening star, I should say, and now it's coming down to the 786-85522 would be the target that we have to hold. If we don't hold that, then again, likely heading down to the 80,282 here. I don't think that the top or that the bottom is in yet, guys. A lot of people are getting very bullish. But as Alex O said earlier about 5 wave, and I think he was on 3 minute, this was just looking like the final, no, he was on this time frame, and he was talking about the downward motions. I'm not an Elliott wave specialist. I leave that stuff to LBC and Kuntz. They know that stuff, but I'm watching it here where this would be a wave 4, and then we have a wave 5 down still. I would have to I would have to refer you to the experts on that. Don't take it for what I just said, but a lot of people saying downside movement still to be played. Don't be bull-carded. There you go. That's it. All right. Let's get into the news. We'll come back and look at some other time frame stuff here on the charts. Let's bring this up here. Let's shrink it down. Shrinky dinky. Get into the news. There we go. Looking at the news here, guys. How are we looking today on the Into the Cryptoverse metrics? Bitcoin risk level right now currently sitting at 404. Let me refresh that. It might be a little bit lower now. Yeah, 404 is what we're watching there. I do have other couple of things that I'm going to pull up here. Let's go to charts. And I want to talk about the total crypto market cap. Okay. What I'm watching here on this is we're continuing to lose that $3 trillion range. We're down to 2.963 trillion now. Trend on this is at 4.7, and this is getting even wider. I would like to know, I'm going to have to go back and look and figure out how to manipulate this chart a little bit, but I'd like to see how far undervalued we get as the bear market continues on, because you can see here we lost it back in 2015, right? And we were well below this. Like the furthest point there, I had to get the calculator out and do the math, but the lower band was at 3.224 billion and the fair value was at 8.66. That would have to be like 60% damn near undervalued. So I'd like to know what we can potentially get to. I mean, we didn't have anything like that back here, did we? Let's see. This was fair value at 282.5 billion. The lower band was at 98.55 billion. So I'm be curious to know. Yeah, that would be like 60% also. What would that look like here for us? I have to do the math, but it would be somewhere around somewhere around 2 trillion, guys. So take it for what it's worth. Take it for what it's worth. We could see much lower here on these bands between the fair value. All right, what else do I have on here? There was some other things. Oh yeah, the alt season index. Let's go look at that. We are currently sitting at 35.56 on the alt season index, guys. 25 puts us in Bitcoin territory. This is Bitcoin market down here in the green. So neither Bitcoin nor altcoin season right now. Altcoins with an ROI greater than Bitcoin. Currently is 20 of them. 29 have less than an ROI of Bitcoin. So what else we got? What else we got? I was looking at this earlier. I thought it was pretty interesting because on our wristbands, you guys know this chart here, right? We talk about this all the time. This is the DCA Piper plan that we talk about. This is the baseline for it, right? And Baba Yaz, or Bedredden asked at one time, he said, hey, what would it be to get it down into those lower bands? Because if we take a look at how long we spend time in wristbands, there we go, how long we spend in these wristbands, it's typically in between wristband 4 to 5 and wristband 3 to 4. We're currently in wristband 4 to 5. And if we look at percentage wise, Bitcoin spends 20.49% of its entire history in that band. How long in the band below us, which would be a 0.3 to 0.4, that's 20.29%. So a majority of the time spent here between 0.3 to 0.599, right before we go into 5 to 6. So he was wondering, like, what would it be at price wise right now to get to like wristband 1 to 2? And there's a chart for that. I found it, so I can actually answer that question now, and I've saved it in my favorites here. Bitcoin risk levels. And if you take a look to get down to that wristband, I want it zoomed out. No, I want it zoomed in. Right now, to get it into that wristband 1, no, it is out. To get it into wristband 1 right now, we would be down about, you can see it here, $40,000 would be right around wristband 1, 0.114, $40,000. We've talked about that number. We'll probably look at that number again here on the charts, but to get us into our lowest levels of DCA, which is our highest level of DCA, right? That would be, let's see here. This is 1, 2, times 1 is at 0.5. No, times 1 is at 0.6, times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5, times 6, times 7. That would be your DCA times 7 if we got down into that lowest wristband. To put it in that 0.1 where we would be at 40K would be times 6. So, for example, if your DCA is $25 a month, you would be doing $150 or $25 a week. I mean, you'd be doing $150 that week, sitting at that level at $40,000. And that would be scooping up a lot more Bitcoin than you typically do down there. We only spend, percentage-wise, we only spend 12.93% of all of Bitcoin's history in that low range. So when those opportunities come, we're going to be definitely jumping all over that. So that's going to be a good pickup, in my opinion. How are we looking on the fear and greed index? We're at 20. We're in extreme fear still. We can spend quite a while in extreme fear, though, guys. The people that are saying we can't be there much longer, this is only happens. Everything's only happened so many times until it happens more, right? I stubbed my toe on the corner of that table in the house, but I've only done it once. Yeah, if you stubbed it once, you're probably going to hit that same table again. So don't take this as a end all be all that the markets are ready to accept your money. Okay, unless you're DCAing, I wouldn't be doing much right now, and with anything but Bitcoin. That's just me. I am picking up some stocks and stuff here and there, which we dropped that whole list in the Discord. So where is my ticker? Bring the ticker back up here. This thing loves to drop off. It just loves to quit. I blame the mobile phones, Blackie Chan. Nearly got hit by 2 cars whilst walking my dog yesterday, both on mobiles. Yeah, I agree. People don't pay attention anymore. Kabisi letter. Traders are buying. So who's buying the dip? You guys want to know who's buying the dip? Leveraged long U.S. equity ETF trading volumes reached $26 billion last week. It's the highest since the post-April sell-off recovery. Excluding April, this was the 3rd largest reading in 5.5 years. The higher level of dip buying activity has only been observed during the meme stock mania in late 2021 and the beginning of the 2022 bear market. This also more than doubled the average recorded last year. Meanwhile, the number of leveraged equity ETFs has surged to approximately 200 this year to a record 701 in October. Dip buying activity remains very strong, but again, they're doing it on leverage, and we know how that plays out for a lot of people. The over leveraged is what causes big shakeouts, guys. So be very careful. Hey, college, how's your college degree treating you out there? Let me know in the chat. Do you have a college degree and a job? Just put a one in the chat if you got both. I'm just curious because unemployed Americans with 4-year college degrees now make up a record 25.3% of the total unemployed. The percentage has doubled since 2008 financial crisis. This comes as over 1.9 million workers aged 25 plus with at least a bachelor's degree are now unemployed. This is all happening while we've got college debt, college loan payoff at astronomically high numbers being in the rears. Like they owe a lot of money. And here they're finding out, hey, at least I've got my college degree. A lot of good that's doing them when 25.3% of the total unemployed have a 4-year college degree right now. Meanwhile, the unemployment rate for Americans aged 20 to 24 is up to 9.2%. So you're working young adults. If you take a look at the unemployment, it's at 4.4% nationwide right now on average. 9.2% for 20 to 24-year-olds, highest since May 2021. This rate has risen by 2.2 points year over year, an increase not seen outside of recessions. And I ask again, are we in a recession? It's a good question at this point with what we're seeing. So white collar slowdown hits the 4-year degrees. Let's move on here. Taking a look at the 24-hour liquidations. BC gets it. Post said 1.5. 0.5. I DCA the 21st of month because Post, why do you DCA on the 21st of the month? You said this in Alex O's chat too, and I'm wondering what because is. Just because? Is that what it is? Flip Bitcoins, not burgers. Exactly, Blackie Chan. Exactly. Flip your Bitcoin. Looking at the 24-hour liquidations here. In the past 24 hours, 114,973 traders got liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at $394.77 million. The largest single liquidation order happened on Hyperliquid. It was a Bitcoin trade for a measly 8.61 million. No big deal. Nothing to see here. All right. Sorry about that flashbang. Don't know what that was all about. It reloaded the entire page and went white on you. We had white out. It was like a blizzard. NASDAQ currently down on the TradFi stock market side right now, down 0.28%. S&P barely above flat. Actually, cancel that. Just dropped to 0.14% downside on that. Looking at the Dow Jones, it's down. It's up 0.3%. Russell 2K is up 1. And the volatility index holding above 17, but not above below that 25. It's at 20.56. How are we looking on the bonds market? It's down 4.011, just down slightly. People are buying up the 10-year bond right now. Oil is down below $60. It's at 57.22. This coming on the back of the Ukraine peace deal reports. It's down about 2% overall. Gold up above $4,100 again, taking off again at $4,121.20. Silver is up above $50 again at $50.71. Copper is up 1.15%. Platinum is up 0.44%. And palladium down about 0.5%, almost 0.6% there. So seeing some different moves in the markets. Oil being this low would typically be a warning sign because it's below $60, but it's happening because of this. So I understand that. There is an article where they're talking about $30 oil. I don't think that would happen. I think that the companies will limit their production to keep price at least in that $50 to $60 range, just so you know. Because that's just how they do it. They can't really make much money when it's below 60. So at $60, they start cutting off wells. Shut that one down. Shut that down. Let's get our price down. White out like when strippers show their booty. Yes, Blackie Chan. Exactly like that. Exactly like that. I see Billy Goat Tells in here. Is Crypto Billy in here with us? Did Billy drop in? Is Billy in the building? Shout out to the Billy Goat Tells team. Shout out to Crypto Billy if they're in here. I do not see them offhand, but if they're in here, shout out to them. I appreciate it. Yeah, can't believe Dix is down, right? No kidding. Horrible, horrible stock, horrible company in general. So, yeah, getting absolutely wrecked right now. What did I say? Down 4.22%. How's your crypto doing? I don't know. How's your Dix stock doing? I want to go over this here in a bit. This is the economic data because I got a whole breakdown on it here for us. But let's check out the crypto markets today. Bitcoin flat on the daily, down about 0%. Hourly, it's down about 0.3%. Big movers here. Let's see, 4% upside for XRP. Solana up 2.2%. Leo token up 1.6. Chainlink's up 1. Hyperliquid up 4%. I said yesterday in the chart hackers group, I said I really like Hyperliquid because after DDT made me aware, I saw that what they really do is they buy more hype with the fees off of Hyperliquid. And so the Hyperliquid token does pretty decent because of that. So I just got a notification of seeing who it is. Anybody important? No, we're good. Okay. So yeah, that's why hype is up. A lot of people on the decentralized exchange working that. SWI is up 6.9% on the daily. World Liberty Financials is up 6.1, down in the 25s. But overall, nothing really to write home to grandma about here today. Look at the ADP. I want to talk about ADP. I want to talk about retail sales, and I want to talk about core PPI and the PP in your eye that all came out. So first of all, let's go ahead and take a look and focus here on the PPI data, which is going to be your PPI month over month. Came in at 0.3, was negative 0.1. Consensus and forecast would be 0.3 to 0.5. We have core PPI month over month. And keep in mind, this is all from September. This is not October's data. We're still operating 30 days behind. But this was at 0.1. Previously was at negative 0.1. Came in at, was expected to be 0.2 on consensus and forecast. Came in at 0.1. So slightly lower there. Better than it could have been, but still in line with consensus and worse than what it was, right? So overall, producer inflation isn't reaccelerating. That's what we're seeing here. The disinflation trend is stalling around 2.7 to 2.9. You can see that here. Core PPI year over year at 2.9 was expected to be 2.7, slightly up there, and then 2.7 for the PPI year over year when you include food and energy. Keep in mind, core PPI does not include food and energy. You know, your two big things you can't get away without spending money on, especially in winter, right? So month to month looks tame, but the year over year numbers are a bit sticky. That keeps the Fed in higher for longer mode, not panic print, but also not the clean risk on green light that the markets want. So we got some mixed data this morning on the PPI saying, hey, inflation not going anywhere anytime soon. Anytime soon. How many times are we going to say PPI? I'm talking about it, man. Come on now. All right, Miller, quit giving me crap. Looking here at the next one is going to be the retail sales data that we got here month over month for retail sales and the sales control group, which is the big one, by the way. We'll talk about why it's a big one, but your control group is your big thing. So headline retail sales month over month was at 0.2 versus the 0.4 expected, was at 0.6 prior. You can see that. And then retail sales excluding automobiles on the month over month. We got that coming in here, was at 0.3, was previously at 0.6. There was a revision here from 0.7 down to 0.6. They thought it would be 0.4, came in there. So we're seeing retail sales slowing down. So today's retail sales show the consumer cooling off a little bit, which means demand could be lessening, could help us out on the inflation front that we just talked about on PPI. That's weaker real demand once you layer in inflation. It's mildly disinflationary. It's good for the Fed story, but bad for growth and earnings. It's an economic warning sign when you see retail sales dropping down. So the markets have to price slower consumer plus slightly easier Fed, which can mean choppy action for stocks and crypto in the short terms. Again, volatility. That's what we're going to see there. And then the last piece of data that we got in today is going to be your ADP weekly employment. Was at negative 2.5K. Remember, this comes out every week, aka weekly. And ADP week this week was negative 13.5. Much weaker. And so ADP showed another small net loss in jobs. So the labor market is clearly cooling off, not crashing. That takes some heat off the Fed, which is good for risk assets, but it's also adding to the picture of a slowing economy. So putting it all together, Guys, producer inflation is sticky, not one, but not re-accelerating. Retail sales show the consumer is finally cooling off, and ADP says the labor market is softening at the edges. That combo points to a slower economy with less inflation pressure, which nudges the Fed closer to easing, but also raises growth worries. So it's kind of a mixed bag on how the markets are going to take this, because at the end of the day, yeah, we're going to cut rates. Great. But we're doing it because the economy is in trouble. And we can look over here and talk about that. Flashbang. Sorry. Flashbang. Let's refresh this, see what it's looking like. 84.7 is what it was at. 84.9 now. 84.9% chance that we get a rate cut on December 10th. Of course, we're not going to get any of the jobs data for November before that. The October data, we just showed you, it's September. We're going to get October and November combined in December. And in December, that data is going to come out after this rate meeting. So, curious how that worked. But yeah, 84.9% chance that we get a rate cut, 15.1% chance that we don't. And why does this matter? Let's go over here and talk about that. I got some data for that. Overall, what that tells you is that we do have a weakening going on. Because we're doing rate cuts at this point, not because we're seeing strength in inflation. Inflation's getting better. We can start easing off a little bit now. No, we're doing this because the job market's weakening. When we get rate cuts at this point, it's strictly because, hey, we have to before we wreck the economy. Inflation's not going away, and if inflation sticks while we're continuing to lose jobs, there's no guarantee that this rate cut is going to slow down job losses. That's companies cutting down their earnings. And where do they get their earnings from? From people buying, which we're seeing a weakening on retail data, which means we're likely going to see a continuation of job market softening while inflation is staying sticky, and that's stagflation, guys. So it's not looking too awesome, to be fair. It's really not. I think we got some trouble brewing on the horizon. Let's go look at the returns history here on Bitcoin, see where we're at on this on the quarterly. Right now, on the monthly, I should say, right now, down about 20.74% for November. I'm watching for us to hit around this 36% level. And I'll look at the chart in a minute and see where that price would be at. But the last time we were in this ballpark of October being 3 point somethings, we saw, pretty high percentage drop. So, and yeah, I think there we go. I'll talk about this one and then we'll get on the chart. BlackRock's iShares Bitcoin Fund sees record exodus as crypto heads for the worst month since 2022. What are they saying here? BlackRock Spot Bitcoin Exchange Traded Fund is having its worst month ever as its underlying asset suffers the largest monthly decline in more than 3 years. The ETF recorded $2.2 billion in outflows this month as Monday fact-set data shows. That's nearly 8 times the $291 million loss in losses suffered by the investment vehicle last October, or its second worst month in record since its debut in 2024. So the outflows come as Bitcoin is bleeding. Digital asset was last trading at 87,907. There's no doubt that hot money investments have significant outflows. Yeah, do you think? The pullback is really focused on the gambling part of the market, and Bitcoin is really the poster child for that. So let's jump over here, talk about that, because we're seeing retail sales, or we're seeing BlackRock ETFs selling off. But guys, that's not BlackRock selling off. And everyone keeps saying BlackRock is dumping on us. Those people are dumb. I don't know where they're getting that idea from that BlackRock owns 6 Bitcoin. For those that don't know, if you go look at BlackRock's filings for what they have on their assets, they own 6 Bitcoin on their filings. That's it. All the other Bitcoin they have that they're selling, that they're dumping on us, is retail investors selling their ETF, protecting their wealth. So yeah, when you see that and people talk about that, hey, take a look here. BlackRock's dumping on us. No, that's retail exiting the market. So it's retail dumping on themselves. The ones that didn't get out yet. So there you go. Who all we got in here? We got Zinzin. I see you, Zinzin. What's up? How you doing today? French Toaster. Good morning. David Brumbelow. I saw David B's in here. What's up, Brumbelow? Brumblebee's in the house. All Set is in here with us. Need a vacation. My back hurts. I'm going on vacation in like 3 weeks, something like that. something less than that. I don't know. Got a vacation coming up. I'll put you in my suitcase and we'll sneak you out. We'll wheel you out of here. He warned about it in a few times. Dutch inflation 3%, and they're going cuts. Sounds like a recipe for disaster. We need sound money again. Facts, BC. Facts. Okay. What else? Let's go back over to the Bitcoin chart, talk about that. And then we'll probably cut it at that point, guys. We're gonna go over the Bitcoin chart. I'm gonna talk about NASDAQ, some stuff over there, NVIDIA, Google, stuff like that, and then we'll call it a day. I got family coming in today for Thanksgiving. I hope you guys all have a great Thanksgiving. I think BC is gonna be live. I will not be live on Thanksgiving morning, but I will be live tomorrow morning. So let's go take a look at the chart, see what I have a look in here. All right, so Bitcoin, yeah, getting a little pullback. Again, I'm watching for that 786, 85,522. How are we looking on higher time frames? I want to point out something key that happened here. Our monthly is trying to hold the monthly dynamic reactor right now. And to me, that's an important thing. If we do hold this, because it would be a critical level of support. You can see how this has done this in the past where we got another bounce. But keep in mind, if we look at this, back in 2022, we came down, we got our bounce on this, we came up, made a lower high, and then crashed through it, okay? For our continuation. Not very unlike breaking down to come back up and retest the 52-week, which we'll show you in a minute. So we could get a bounce from this level, but that would be a relief rally, in my opinion, setting us up for that downside move like we had here, where we bounced off of that monthly dynamic reactor and gave us our relief rally. I will point out that we are still looking at a bearish signal crossover here on the MVP oscillator. We are about to end our month and possibly be going into a red wave, which led to the entire bear market last cycle. So still on the high time frames, I'm seeing exhaustion here on these charts, guys. Overall, on the monthly, could still cut down quite a bit on the RSI too. Where we see a little bit of strength is on the weekly. And we are closing in on the weekly dynamic reactor here at about $77,000. We do have the MVP oscillator candles giving us, hey, bottom side in, you're looking good there, right? But again, relief rally, who knows? Histogram still giving continuation down. We are getting a little bit here oversold on the Oscillator Pro Plus. True 7 has fired, but money flow's coming down and the volume's coming down. We are seeing some strength here of the RSI now giving us down in this range of 23. I guess we're all the way down to like 19. If we look back here, 19, we went all the way down to like 11.9. So we could still go a little bit lower to what we were in this point here back in 2022. But overall, this does look like we're about due a relief rally. That will be opportunity for those that could not get out. That could not get out of the markets, but now are stuck in it. So this channel is the worst when it comes to commercial breaks. Is there too many commercial breaks? I can mess with that stuff a little bit, like don't do them here, do them there, but I not too much control over that. Mark Dutch, you let me know, man. You let me know. What do you need from me? I'll do it. So what I'm watching there is that we are going to get a weekly bounce based on what bottoming where we are right now on the weekly does say we're a little bit exhausted. The bears are getting tired, so might give the bulls a little run, but I don't think we're going to set a new all-time high, in my opinion. What are we looking like here? I'm still watching for the $70,000 range. I know that's below the 77 on that weekly dynamic reactor we just saw, but that would be a 50% retracement, which historically has been what we do. We can do that. We did it back in 2021, but we caught the 52-week. Now we're below the 52-week. So who knows, man? We're just going to play it by ear. We're going to continue to dollar cost average every single week and base it on the what our ads. I got premium same, so I don't see how many we have. See what we get here for this thing. I'm just going to look at the dollar cost average, look at the wristbands, what's my multiplier, and dollar cost average that way. If you want to get it, guys, it's $5 a month. $5 a month. I drop it every Monday. You join with the membership button down below. You're connected to your Discord. You get access to everything. So may not be the biggest and best Discord out there, Alex O. I love you, bro. But we do have a couple of good traders in there, and the DCA Piper plan pays for itself. We're going to be running it all the way into the next top of the next cycle, 2029. So we're here for the long haul at $5 a month. I made it enough money that scammers don't want to pay to get in. There's no free section in it at all, so they get nothing but a help ticket. That's it. If they don't have a membership, and I made it enough that cheap enough that everybody could get it, expensive enough that scammers aren't going to get in there. So there's no bots and scammers once you're in. Again, I am watching for October 2026 to be our top here, or to be our bottom, I mean, based on the history of how long we are in each of these cycles. Bottom to bottom comes out like 1,428 to 1,442 days, average 1,435 days. So DDT, what's up, bro? How you doing, man? All right, guys, let's go look at NVIDIA and Google here, and we'll get out of here. Wow. Holy cannoli. I told you guys I thought NVIDIA was going to come all the way down to 153. Would not shock me one bit to see that happen. We are down now into the platinum pocket. Let's put this on the daily, clean it up a little bit. You'll see right there. Platinum pocket. Bingo bango, T.I. Joe. But I am watching for it to come down there to this $153 range. I would not be surprised to see that at all. We are sitting right now at a critical level of support. That's going to be your dynamic reactor on the daily. But if we lose that, expect to see this return down here to the 200 band. I am also looking at Google today because Google is taking NVIDIA's lunch. Where you at, Goog? Let's go to the Goog. I need to get all these organized. I told you guys I was going to do it. I spend too much time not doing the stuff I need to do. That's for sure. Let's go over here and take a look at Google. Google, yeah, taking its lunch, man. How we looking here on the Bravo details? Okay, holy balls. You're going to load? You're not going to load? Are you going to load? Come on, Bravo kit. Stand by to stand by. Stand by to stand by. By the way, Chat GPT yesterday, I had it run. I put my DDT 14 and all my evals and write-ups and awards and all that stuff in there. Man, did she spit out an amazing bio, which is sucks because when you're in leadership positions in the military, you have to write out your entire bio. Chat GPT would have been great back in the day. So watching it here, guys, yeah, we are looking like we are pretty high up here, but we're not quite into the cloud yet. That's still looking pretty decent for us. I would just let this thing ride, man. If you guys are doing anything with Google right now, let it ride. If we get up to maybe about 338, you might consider taking out some profits, but this thing is holding its bounce. If this thing pulled back into the Bravo cloud, I would look again and getting into it because this has just been riding up since when? Since July of this year. It's been riding the Bravo cloud all the way up. So Google taking NVIDIA's lunch. And this is coming on the back that Meta said that they are going to be using Google's chips. NVIDIA got a hit from it. Yeah, it's for dream analysis too. Oh, nice. Zooms in. Amazing, RV Piper. Win headache. Get yourself some coffee stats. Let's go over here. Let's bring the chat up. All right, guys. Did I miss anything in here? Anything in here? Did you guys say anything? I mean, you guys always say important stuff, but anything that I need to address before I go? If I did, someone tell me where it's at. Give me the info, and I'll get up there. Yeah, he did. He did. Buffett bought $5 billion worth of Google last week. Don't fade it. Try dropping your chart into it just before Brink session and tell it to give you entries. Obviously, ask it to act as a crypto trading expert first. Yeah, I actually did that with the chart the other day and said, oh, what are we going to do at the platinum pocket here? And she said it was a high likelihood that we were going to break out of the platinum pocket and continue up to the 618. And I was like, that's what we did. I did a replay and said, hey, here's the replay with the cut off all of the most recent candles, right? And I said, here's where we are right now. Where do we go from? And then I looked at the chart compared to what she told me it was going to do. It was pretty much what it did. So, I mean, she's not always right. She's wrong a lot, like about who's the president right now. but it is what it is. I digress. All right, guys, we're going to head out of here. It's about 9:40 right now. We're not going to head to anybody right now today. I think we're just going to go and enjoy our day. We got family coming in here at the house for Thanksgiving. So I will be back here tomorrow morning. OC will not be on tonight again. He's swamped over there at the Chart Prime for Black Friday. So if you guys are in the Discord, tag him in a message. Tell him we miss you and we hope you're doing well and not overworking yourself. And we'll see you when you get back. He would appreciate that. He hates when he's not with the alumni. So I'll be back here tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, breaking down the news, the charts, the markets, the headlines, everything you need to have knowledge. Until next time, guys, trade safe, use some risk management. And as always, peace, love, profits. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others. Later. Mark Dutch, I fly into Paris and then from Paris to Switzerland.
Never lie. Piper led the mission, OC in the sky. Spaghetti on the screen, but the vision stay prime. Chart Prime visual signals on time. Alumni strong, we built from the grind. Lessons in the market that'll outlive time. Knowledge is profit, you know how we run. Till the next one, stay sharp, get it done.
You can't handle the truth. Emotional damage.
We'll see you at the next
Don't
one.
know what the fuck they're doing.
Morning market report out, 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 out.
Boom shakalaka.
We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report out. We'll see you at the next one. Morning market report. Ow.
That was awesome, dude.
Hey, it didn't break. What else you got?